like to talk and explain about how pornography is so addictive. Most drunkards, they won't accept they're addicted to alcohol. The only time people realize they're addicted to something is when they try and stop that habit, and they can't. I want to explain how progressive, like other bad habits, pornography is. Pornography, you think you start on alcohol with wine, and then you get bored. It loses its effect, and you go on to whiskey. You start on marijuana, you go to cocaine or heroin. All bad habits are progressive because they're not natural. Pornography is not natural, and after watching it for a few years, just BFs or photos, it doesn't have the same buzz anymore. So you have to search for something more sinister, more dark, more perverse, more violent, or the girl, the porn star, has to be younger and younger, or it has to be more and more exotic or weird. This has a great danger because it reprograms the psyche of a human being. It's like human being 2.0. I want to talk about one of these progressions of pornography, and it's what I call the violent routes. It's called making love, not making hate. But today, if you watch pornography for years, you start to enjoy having the girl screaming rather than kissing. And as we mentioned in previous sessions, that ladies en masse around the world have wondered why their husband starts pinching them and then punching them and smashing them. And why there's a section on bondage on every porn website today. According to my research of 4,000 undergraduates and +1, +2 boys, 30% at higher secondary or PUC level will watch regularly rape, and 40% at undergraduate level. If you're watching pornography, that means you have a 43% chance of end up watching rape. So even if you're not watching it now, it is because of the addictive nature, because it doesn't satisfy longer term, you are likely to get bored and to start watching this rape. Now, on average, in each state in India, so you can understand how much of an issue this is, 1 million rapes are watched by +1, +2, that's 11, up to graduation, degree college, professional colleges. That age group, those 5 years, 1 million rapes are watched per day. One of my staff, after hearing about this topic, she went home to check her younger brother's inbox in his mobile. And the first video she saw in his inbox was a gang rape. He was 14 years old. If you go on Google today and just type in some of these things, in the top 10 will come a gang rape. You know, rape is a violation of girls. It is the most horrible abuse. In the Daughters of India banned a video about the Delhi bus gang rape. The guy said the girl should have just enjoyed it. You see, porn desensitizes guys to the horror. They think that they should enjoy it. Okay, for the guys watching, let me try and explain the horror of a rape. First of all, the age of the rapist is getting lower and lower today because of this addiction to violent porn. The average age of the girl who's being raped is getting lower, and the level of violence is increasing. My mum phoned me from England to Mysore near Bangalore after the Delhi bus gang rape of a few years ago. It was international news what they did to that girl, and everyone was saying, why could they do that? Because they'd reprogrammed themselves. They'd allowed themselves to enjoy the combination of sexual satisfaction with pain, screaming. That became the excitement. Is that what you want to reprogram yourself? Don't you think that if you watch this, you will desire it? You know, we have banned the tobacco adverts today because of the proven link between looking at the advert for tobacco and desiring to smoke itself. The whole advertising industry shows that whatever we advertise and people look at and desire does affect their buying choices or their choices and affections. if we continue to allow violent porn to be on the internet, we are advertising rape. Porn, not pornography, and violent pornography advertises rape 1 million times a day in each state in India. We've increased the sentences to like 20 years recently in India for gang rape. Good that the government of India has taken it seriously. However, it's still not decreasing. And just making it more and more sentence is good, but we need to stop advertising, stop feeding the system. You see, Lady India is moving away from the river of life, her higher virtues and traditional values, and she's coming to a sewage work, and she's picking up a piece of shit, and it's got the name porn on it, and she's smelling it and saying, oh my goodness, it smells so nice, and she's beginning to lick it and taste it and eat it, and she doesn't realise it's poisoning her whole system. People who enjoy porn, you need to realise this does poison your system, you individually and this nation en masse. And there needs to be a movement of young people that says, no more poison of pornography. We're going to stand against this. We're going to rise up against this. I did these seminars in the professional colleges in Belgium, and after I left, there was 250 girls from 10 colleges and some guys who did a riot, who did a march on the streets and called the press. And they took 2 banners. I mean, they took lots of banners, but there were 2 types. And one of the banners said, we will never marry a guy who watches pornography. I think the girls should rise up and do that in other places. Now, we were talking about the progression of porn and the horror of violent pornography. You know, we've been seeing almost every week in the news the increase in rape across India. 30,000 rapes a year now. And not only rape, but abuse and other things, human trafficking. However, what's most shocked people is when someone will rape a primary school girl. And everyone says, you know, how could a guy, she's not even a sexual being, she's not mature. How can someone want to, how can someone want to rape, but how can someone desire and want to rape even a young girl? You see, this is what pornography will do to you. It will turn you into a pedophile. It may turn you into a rapist.